Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. We have some more Duelist Nexus reveals. It's only 2 cards, but man, it looks like some big ones, some potentially like really impactful ones. We have 2 new PURRELY cards, PURRELY cards, however you pronounce it. I'm just gonna call it PURRELY. But yes, a new trap card and a new Exceed. I knew we were going to get a new Exceed. I didn't know we were going to get a new trap, though. And if you do not know, on the most recent meta recap thing in the OCG, it is a pretty diverse format, but PURRELY was already the top performing deck, at least, you know, in those last couple weeks that had a recap. So very scary that they're going to get 2 new cards, and let's just get into what they do. Starting off here, we have PURRELY Noir. We already had the other 3 small ones. It felt like we were missing some kind of utility Exceed, and I think that's exactly kind of what we see here. So this is a level 2 Dark Fairy Exceed monster, 1,000, 2,000 for the stats. 2 level 2 monsters, so very generic, and even a, you know, make sprites, you know, interesting here, because just they're the best level 2 engine we've ever seen in the game, but whatever. First effect, once per turn, soft once per turn. You can discard 1 card, then target 1 card your opponent controls, or up to 2 if this card has Sleepy Memory as material, return it to the hand. Not bad. Just discard a card, bounce a card. That seems really powerful. I'm not going to lie to you, especially since it doesn't even have to detach material. So one of the interesting things about the Exceeds is a lot of them are just made with 1 material initially, or well, no, I think they are made with 2, because they use one of the level 1s, and the level 1s will attach a memory as well. So whatever. All I'm saying is it helps facilitate a Zeus that it doesn't have to detach. So you get to bait an interruption essentially by going at them with the bounce, and if they don't remove this card, then you're probably going to have an easy access to Zeus at that point, and you can push from there. Essentially, this is a worse version of Noir, right? The bigger Noir being a quick effect to do its thing. It puts back into the deck instead of putting back to hand, which is just a more powerful removal overall, but still not bad nonetheless. Second effect is up to thrice per turn. When you activate a PURRELY quick play spell, you can quick effect attach that card on the field to this card as material. Then you can set a PURRELY trap from your deck. That's insane. That is so fucking crazy. I can't believe they did that. Thrice per turn. I mean, and now we have a new trap card. The trap card they already have is a really good card because it made it easy for them to immediately rank up into the bigger Noir, which is one of the strongest boss monsters in the game right now. Very, very scary. This card's really strong. Helps them get to Noir. Helps them get this new trap. Helps you with extra removal. That's a really nice piece of utility, because this card is just, I think the thing was, if you weren't getting all the way to Noir, you weren't getting removal. Or Zeus, you just kind of had to walk right into Zeus most times, it seemed. So being able to now have an easier access, one of the rank 2s, to be able to apply pressure to the board, throw a bounce at your opponent and say, you have to respond to this. And then even if they do without removing it, you have a line into Zeus. Even so, it could just be a bait for you to use another quick play to get into another Exceed and go into Zeus. Yeah, there's definitely some scary potential here. I think this is a really good card for them. And the last one is PURRELY Sharely. PURRELY Sharely. It's a normal trap card, of course. Target a PURRELY Exceed monster you control as cost. Special summon a level 1 PURRELY monster from your deck with its effects negated. And if you do, special summon from your extra deck 1 PURRELY monster with the same rank as the targeted monster, with different attribute, by using the summoned monster as material. This is treated as an Exceed summon. Then you can take from your deck 1 card with the same name as a PURRELY quick play spell attached to the target as material, and attach it to the Exceed monster as material. Okay, so kind of a lot going on here for, like, it's not the, it's a little simple if you kind of break it down. So it's going to pretty much you have to have an Exceed on field. I think that's the only downside of this card, is you do already have to have an Exceed on field, which does kind of go with the weakness of, like, your goal playing against Purrely is, like, don't let them keep an Exceed monster on the field. You know what I mean? And if they're playing some of these traps, because the other one also has to target an Exceed they control, if you just don't let them end on an Exceed, you have a deck that has, like, a lot of removal, and when they go into the small rank 2s, you're able to just clear them off the field very quickly and easily. You're gonna be in a good spot, but obviously not every deck has access to that. But being able to target a Purrely Exceed, summon one of the level 1s from deck, then rank up into, you're probably targeting a level 2 most of the time, I'm guessing. Summon another level, one of the other rank 2 Exceeds with a different attribute, and then you get to also attach another Purrely quick play spell attached to it from the deck. This doesn't seem like a bad card, but most of the Purrely rank 2s don't do much on the opponent's turn. And if you're targeting an Exceed that's like you already have Noir and you're targeting Noir, you have to summon a different attribute. So it's not even like you can just summon another Noir. You have to summon the light one. It has to be the same rank, different attribute. And summoning the light one isn't really that good on the opponent's turn. So for me, this card seems a little bit lackluster for what we're looking at here. The other one actively gets you Noir when you don't have it, and that's really powerful. But what scenario do you have the light rank 7 and you really want to get to Noir? Like, that's what we're talking about with this card, essentially, because it has to be same rank, different attribute. It just doesn't really get you to anything super great on the opponent's turn. So the other one seemed like it has a very direct purpose. Gets you to Noir, gets you to your best boss monster, gets you to your best interruptions. This one is like, what are you even getting on your opponent's turn with this that's like that good? So I don't know. That being said, this card being able to search the other trap is already good enough. We didn't even need a good trap. This is not a bad trap, by the way. It's just, its purpose is kind of like, what's the best thing we're getting off of this? And so this card, I think, is really good for the deck. It does put us now in an odd spot because, like I said, this has been the best performing deck in the OCG, and I know a lot of people really don't like it because it has a Towersy boss monster, and that means, you know, sometimes it's Kaiju or bust when you play against decks like that. It has a triple shuffle effect. They have the potential to draw 6 on your standby phase and when they go first, which is terrible. I think what we're going to see is, like, the very first hit we see to this deck is probably going to be, is it Sleepy Memory? Whichever one draws, the quick play that draws, go to 1 or none. Since it's the OCG, I would guess 1, because you're seeing that's just what's going on. They're making Noir and drawing, you know, upwards of 6 cards. Usually it's, you know, 2 at least, maybe 4, and like the highest end is 6, which is too much because you can play 15 hand traps, and if you draw 6 with 15 hand traps in your deck, you might have just drawn, you know, especially if you've thinned the deck already with the engine, you might have just drawn 4 hand traps. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's game usually, and you don't have to commit to the field very much. Like, you literally just have to put Noir on the field, and that's it. And that's already 3 more interruptions and a Towers. It's terrifying. This deck really is really, really scary. So we'll see. It's a very, very interesting deck. I actually like the playstyle because it is so control based, but maybe it's a little too good at being at doing what it does. But we'll see. Very, very interesting. I knew we were going to get more legacy support. Hopefully we follow this up with another card or 2 for Mikanko, and even more so Rescue Force. Rescue Ace. If Rescue Ace, come on, give them some good cards because they need it way more than these other 2 archetypes do. But we'll see as that stuff comes. But very cool stuff. If you know more about the OCG, again, I've just kind of been I've not paid super close. I mean, I know what the deck does, but I don't know the ins and outs. If there's anything else particularly interesting about either of these 2 cards, let me know in the comment section down below on how you think these cards could be really big for you know, Purrely going forward. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But I'm out of here. Got a ton of more cards to be revealed here. I think we should still have 30 cards down the pipeline in the next 6 days. So yeah, ton of stuff coming. So I'll keep you posted on that whenever news drops, so subscribe to the channel for that kind of stuff. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.